shot! Dishes off to Jones, kicks it out to Aaron Martin, 4 seconds. Oh my goodness! He makes the three!
Are you kidding me, Aaron Martin?
Well, welcome to Wildcat Week. I'm Roger Alcock. The men's soccer team, they're one win away from qualifying for the NAIA National Championships. They will play on this Saturday in the Crossroads League Championship game against Goshen University. And so last Saturday, the Wildcats advanced to the conference final by defeating Spring Arbor University in a rematch of a very tough earlier season game. Well, last year the Wildcats defeated the Cougars in the league finals, so Spring Arbor came into this game with a little bit of revenge on their minds, but Tyrone Martin led the way for the 5th-ranked Wildcats, as he's done all season long. He was recently named the Crossroads League Player of the Year, and the Cougars proved the challenge for the Wildcats, but the Wildcats struck early. Seth Kintai finds Tyrone Martin. That header made it a 1-0 Wildcat lead. Now Spring Arbor would answer in the 29th minute as Jared Putt finds the rebound and got it past goalkeeper Josh Kepper. That tied up the ball game at one piece, but then Tyrone worked his magic once again. He got the second goal of the night with the assist from freshman Sean Block, and that would be the winning goal as the Wildcats advanced to the league championship. The Wildcats defeated the Cougars of Spring Arbor 2-1 in the semifinals, and as we said, take on the number 6 seed in this Saturday's championship game. That would be Goshen College. Well, joining me now is the head coach of the Wildcats, Joel Schulman, and Wildcat goalie Josh Gepper. Guys, thanks for coming on in. And we were talking a little bit just before the show. Championship game at home, it's everything you want. Maybe a little bit surprised on the opponent. Goshen has pulled off a couple upsets to get to the championship game, and coach, you know, they'd love nothing more to keep that streak alive and defeat the number 5 team in the nation, wouldn't they?
For sure, yeah. They're playing well right now. They've won their last 2 games of the regular season to qualify for the tournament, and since being here, have upset 2 opponents, Mount Vernon and Taylor. So yeah, we always have a target on our back. So being where we've been all year, so we're expecting nonetheless. I mean, the same for this game as well.
You talk about a little bit of target on your back because 5th ranked in the country, now the highest ever in program history. You guys had an unbelievable streak in conference play. You've won 16 in a row. So all those things. Maybe an opponent like Goshen can point to and say, guys, this is the team we can beat and really make our kind of season.
Absolutely. Well, they've certainly got nothing to lose, right? They come in as underdogs in essence, and so they'll come in kind of carefree and come at us pretty hard. So we're looking forward to it, though. It'll be make for a great atmosphere. I'm sure they'll bring a fan bus down. They got great fans, so it'll make for a great atmosphere Saturday at 6 o'clock. So.
Now, Josh, you're a junior on this team, the keeper. I want to talk a little bit offense again, a little bit before the show. Tyrone Martin, we saw his 2 goals there. He's had 5 goals in the last couple games. I know it's a team sport. It takes everyone working together, but he really has. I mean, he's had an outstanding season, but in the last couple games, he's really taken it to another level, hasn't he?
Yeah, you know, he's really a special player. I mean, he makes things happen out of nothing. He has a lot of help too from our back line. I mean, you saw Sean Block and Seth Kinty both giving him the assist. I mean, just makes things work. I mean, he comes from a D1 program, and yeah, he's just really good. That's all I got.
A quiet guy. You probably would never get him to come on the show to talk about himself. But, Coach, who else really is playing well for you guys right now? Whether it be offensive or defense, and who's like really kind of helped leading the charge for this team?
Yeah, well, you know, I said Saturday that Saturday's victory was a great team victory. You know, getting both of our assists, as Josh said, from our outside backs. You know, the center backs are playing well and have led well all year. Josh is playing well, and I mean, honestly, the whole team's playing pretty well. I mean, if you chained me down and made me say something, I'd say, I guess, you know, Keaton Albert is certainly a very special player. Corey Lopez has, got 13 goals this year, so those guys are doing really well for us.
No matter what the sport, there's kind of the old saying that defense wins championship. And I think that's probably true in soccer as well. And you throw in defense and goaltending; those kind of work hand in hand. But those have been pretty good mainstays for you guys this year.
Yeah, they have been. we're averaging less than a goal a game against, which is pretty good statistic nationally. But we're scoring a lot of goals. That's really what's carrying the day for us. So we're pushing to get the shutouts and be better defensively, because against the quality teams, that will be crucial, as you've said. Yeah.
Josh, little side note here. The word is out on the street that you're a bit of a legend here on campus, and there's even maybe even like some intramural teams, Salt and Gepper. Is that true?
Yeah, Salt and Gepper is a little bit of a support group. They come out to the games. They have pink T-shirts, and some of the guys wear wigs, and it's just hilarious. I love it.
That's the fun thing about soccer, though, is it the fan support. Great fan support here for the Wildcats, and I know it makes a difference to the guys.
Oh yeah, yeah. Listening to them in the crowd and just hearing them chant, and they got the wigs match my hair, so it's fun.
Awesome. Well, guys, thanks for coming on in, and we appreciate it, and we certainly wish you best of luck as the season continues.
Thanks, Roger. Appreciate it.
All right.
Thanks for having us.
Well, let's talk a little men's basketball really quick. They dominated while on the road Tuesday night. They traveled to Cincinnati, Ohio to take on the Eagles of Cincinnati Christian University. The men came out extremely hot. They were red hot, 69% from the floor in the first half. They opened the game on an 11-0 run. Lane Mahurin working his way inside early to help build that Wildcat lead. They were up, the Wildcats were 10 of 11 from three-point range in this game in the first half. Zach Vandewater, Johnny Marlin, each connecting from the beyond the arc here in the highlights. So the Wildcats on fire for sure. DJ Bettinger, Vandewater, Bob Peters, they all scored 17 points on the night. Bettinger and Vandewater each connected on 5 3-pointers in this game. Josh Maywar as well. He scored both inside and outside there. You see with the little jumper. Lane Mahurin had 14 points on the night. Johnny Marlin led the Wildcats with 11 assists. Coach Conical, he stated it's one of the best first halves he has ever witnessed. Now, the win was the 6th for the Wildcats on the year and the second game in which they have cracked the 100-point mark. 101-77, the final score in this contest. And after 3 games on the road, the men return home this weekend as they will host IU Southeast on Friday night in Lucky Arena. The tip-off for that game is at 7 p.m. Well, when we come back, we'll sit down with the head coach of the cross-country team, John Foss, to see how the Wildcats runners are completing their season, and we'll see how the IW volleyball team is faring in the conference tournament as well. So don't go away. Lots more ahead on Wildcat Week. Well, welcome back to Wildcat Week. The cross-country teams at Indiana Wesleyan, they finished their conference schedules on Saturday. The women, they finished runner-up at their Crossroads League meet over at Taylor University. Senior Taylor Height led the way for the ladies, finishing as the individual runner-up. The guys, they won the league championship, though, on Saturday. Nino Bellinati led the way, pacing the Wildcats with the first place in the individual champion. Both teams are now headed to the NAIA Nationals on November 22nd. And joining me now, the head coach of the Wildcats, John Foss, is here to talk a little cross-country. And, Coach, it's been a great year for both the guys and the ladies. It's been an outstanding season, but a few more meets yet to go. So it's still a lot of excitement left.
Yeah, one big one, and that's the national championships. It's at Rimrock Farm in Kansas, which is a historical cross-country course there that's a lot of fun to run at, and I think we're ready to go.
Let's talk a little bit about the league championship meet. First, for the guys, we all know Nino Bellinati led the way, individual champion, our first individual champion since 1993. But as a team, it was a dominating performance. 6 runners in the top 15. Really, I don't know that could get much better than that.
Yeah, that's about it, especially with the competition. 4 of those teams made it to nationals. So we had great competition, and yet our pack has been really strong all year. Roger, the top 5 have been gold. We have been looking for a 6th, and Alex Brown provided us with that 6th runner, only 10 seconds behind our 5th. It's a team that's poised to have a really good championship, I think, in a week.
We know Nino, a local guy from Oak Hill area. Josh Neidick, the Eastbrook product, he had a great day as well, didn't he?
Yeah, Josh Neidick, a freshman coming in, it's always difficult, but he has practiced and competed with that top group all year long. So it's been a great run for a freshman.
On the ladies' side, we talked about Taylor Height, runner-up in the meet. You guys finished runner-up as a team. A very strong ladies team program at Taylor, but you're only 7 points behind in second place. So I know you were really happy with how the ladies performed on Saturday.
Yeah, absolutely. And Taylor University has recruited over the last couple of years a very strong team. Last year they beat us handily, but throughout the season we continued to get closer to them. This year we actually beat them 2 weeks ago, but they had an off day. We knew they would be tough. I thought our girls competed very well. The only weakness for us is the fifth runner. We need a little bit stronger runner at number 5, but the top 4 ran fantastic. There's only 1 second between Taylor Height and Sarah Macbeth.
Wow.
And they finished 2-3 and did a great job.
Now, you have NAIA Nationals coming up on November the 22nd, as we mentioned. I know in other years there's a Christian College National meet. Wildcats, will they be there? Will we be running at that meet? And if so, how do you approach that kind of meet? Because it's still a national meet.
Yeah, that's an excellent question. And what we've done in the past is we've run our second team at that meet. And throughout the year, we try to compete every other weekend. That gives us a 2-week training cycle, and that's ideal for distance runners. So it's been many years since we've went with an A team to the National Christian College meet. Well, this year they moved it to Houghton, New York, and with the amount of classes we would have missed, we just decided not to go. So we're actually done except for the NAI National meet.
Well, talking about the NAI National meet then, if I remember correctly, you guys ran on that course earlier in the year, and so it shouldn't be new. You ran there earlier with a purpose in mind, knowing that you were planning to go back.
Yeah, they have a pre-national meet at Rimrock Farm in the middle part of October. And we did that last year, and then we ran the Nationals with 7 guys that are all back. They're all on the team this year, some not running now, thanks to Nino and Josh. So we have 9-10 guys that have had multiple experiences at that course. And that was also the first meet that the men really showed what they could do. I think we finished 3rd at Rimrock Farm. Nino was 3rd overall, and that's a huge meet with a lot of competition. So that really helped us in the ratings.
All right, well, Coach, thanks for coming on in. Congratulations on the championship there with the guys, and Coach of the Year once again. So we really appreciate you coming in, and good luck to you guys at Nationals.
Sounds good. Thank you, Roger.
All right, well, we're going to talk a little volleyball here quickly. Ladies volleyball team, they're certainly rolling along this season. Now they are moving their way into the conference semifinals. The young Wildcat squad remains 19th in the latest national polls, and still they've only had 1 loss in the league this season. Well, Tuesday night, the Lady Wildcats faced the Knights of Marion University in the opening round of the Crossroads League tournament. The Wildcats really little to no trouble in this game. They came out firing on all cylinders. The women, certainly the number 1 seed in this tournament, played like it. They stormed to a 1-game lead after the first game, 25-12. They continued to dominate, grabbing game number 2 very quickly, 25-14. And of course, they then closed out the match in game number 3 with a dominating performance as well. 3-0. The Wildcats finished off the Knights. Bianca Cifaldi led the way for the Wildcat offense with 15 kills on the night, while Remy Buckner added 6 kills as well. Emily Workman and Katie Holler each had double-digit assists on the night, and Workman with 14, Holler with 13 assists, so great job there, ladies. Ashlyn Buck and Sam Elkin each served well in the night, each dishing out a pair of aces. Now the Wildcats will face off against Bethel. The Pilots come to town on Tuesday night, 7 p.m. to Lucky Arena in the next round of the Crossroads League tournament. Well, when we come back, we'll see how the newcomer on the Wildcat men's basketball squad, Jody Marlin, is leading the charge for Wildcat basketball. And head coach Greg Tonelgo will be in studio as well. So don't go away. That's all next on Wildcat Week. Well, welcome back to Wildcat Week. The men's basketball team, they're still undefeated on the season, and of course that success is coming in large part because of some new faces new faces, I should say, here on the squad. Kyle Johnson sat down with transfer Johnny Marlin and talked about the transition that has been nearly seamless for the Wildcat point guard.
The #1 team in the country is now a perfect 6-0 and is being led each night by a multitude of different faces, including newcomer and IU transfer Johnny Marlin.
So I'm just excited just to play. I mean, just the game that I love with unbelievable guys, and just go out there and just have fun. I mean, it's something that I've been, I guess, looking forward to now for quite some time.
As point guard, Marlin operates the offense and brings an assist-first mindset to the floor.
When it goes down on the stat sheet, I get an assist and he gets 2 points, whereas opposed to if I just shoot the ball, it only goes down as my 2 points. So stats-wise, you get more credit as a team, and so I would love to lead the country in that stat. I think I'm okay to say that because it's not a selfish one.
Marlin says he's still adjusting to the culture at IWU and says the coaching staff takes a different approach here than at IU.
Just having coaches ask you more about your spiritual life than basketball, it's just kind of a foreign concept to me from where I've been. It's not like Coach Crean didn't care about me as a person. It wasn't like that at all. I mean, I have plenty of things to thank Coach Crean for, but it's just a different mindset here.
While Marlin is focusing on his teammates, there's no doubt he can shoot the ball. He put up a smooth 35 points against 11th-ranked Cornerstone. He even earned a unique nickname while at IU.
He dubbed me the nickname Johnny Cash, and so that clicked, and I love that.
Johnny Marlin, 11 assists, 2 turnovers.
Whomever he's known as, he's already making a big difference as an undefeated Wildcat.
Because what we used to say is point guards, you got to be 2 for 1. We're 5 for 1 right now.
For Wildcat Week, I'm Kyle Johnson.
Well, now we welcome in the head coach of the men's basketball team here. And coach, we finally get you on the set Wildcat Week here.
I've been waiting for the invite, Raj. I've been waiting for the invite.
Well, we want to talk a little bit about the game on the road at Cincinnati Christian. I don't know. Listening to the radio, of course, Jimmy Brenner's going bonkers, but you guys were shooting the lights out completely. You ever had a half a basketball like that?
I don't think so, and I hope my players aren't listening right now, but that was as good of a basketball as you could absolutely play, and probably the best half that we have played since I have been here. So, you know, I think this team certainly can duplicate that, but I hope they're focused on just every single day duplicating that possession by possession.
Well, that's key, isn't it? I mean, it's taking it one possession at a time, one game at a time, because if you get too high or too low, then you start either maybe taking things a little bit lackadaisical, or then you start stressing a little bit too much. But if you can remain calm and consistent, and I think your guard play has kind of led the charge in that regard.
They really have, and playing that well is a process. You know, it doesn't happen just because you show up in Cincinnati. I mean, there were a lot of things stacked against us. I mean, we had a 3-hour bus trip. We got stuck in traffic, showed up late. We're playing a very good team on the road. We're coming off a big win. I mean, it was kind of the typical trap game, and for us to come out at that level on both ends. I mean, we shot it well, obviously, but I thought our defense was stifling, and I thought the effort, 1 through 5 that were on the court was tremendous. So if they come in every day with that attitude that we're going to play possession by possession, I think we can continue to get better and potentially even play better than that.
You talk about coming off a big win on the road. So you had three consecutive road games. You played some good competition up in Michigan. Were able to beat Aquinas by double digits. But that Cornerstone game, that was a great early season test to take on a really good team. Not necessarily on their home floor, but in their hometown. Yeah. And wow, that was a tight ball game that you guys were able to pull out on the road. And that was a big win.
Very big win. I mean, that's one of the better programs across the country. It's one of the better coach teams across the country. And what I liked about it was I didn't feel we played well, or at least as well as we've been playing. But we found a way to win. We didn't shoot it well. We had played the night before at 8 and gotten out of the gym at 11:30. Had to turn around and be back at the gym at 10:30 that morning. So that quick turnaround against that type of program, I think spoke a lot about the versatility of this team. And that's what I like about our schedule so far. We played some elite offenses. IU East, can score points. We played elite athleticism in Oklahoma Wesleyan. Then we played some elite defenses in Cornerstone. I think Aquinas is going to be a great defensive ball club. So we've seen a little bit of everything. We've been able to adapt and throw some different looks at them.
Now, in that game against Cornerstone, one of the things in our home games that we've talked about on television is great balance in terms of scoring and distribution and all that kind of stuff. But it was nice to see that if you had to have someone step up and score 35 in that game, it was Johnny Marlin. But I think there's a couple guys that you could say, if we have to have someone step up and score a lot of points, there's a couple guys that can do that for you.
Well, here's what was really great about Johnny's game. It wasn't 35 points. It was just the way he approached the game. They decided they were going to take everybody away, so they weren't going to help off of shooters. So Johnny took advantage of that one for 35. The other game, the other night at Cincinnati Christian, they decided to help off of Johnny. So he goes for 11 assists, 0 turnovers. So he's understanding, okay, this is the team's game plan. This is a scout. Here's how I take advantage of that without forcing. And that, to me, that's the mark of a great point guard. He's just very strategic, very efficient, and he gets our team in the best position to win.
I want to stick a little bit more with the guard play. Zach Vandewater, a guy who came in as a defensive specialist, kind of stopper mentality. He's a guy we're going to put on our best player. He can shoot the ball. We saw at the end of last year, I think we're seeing it this year, that he's becoming a little bit more of a scoring threat for you guys as well.
I mean, I'll say this, Zach's very appreciated. I think he does so many things well that basketball coaches love. He guards and he shoots the ball well. That's a hard combination to get. And we were talking as a staff, if he was in the NBA, he's what GMs want, right?
Yeah.
They want that guy that can sit in the corner and knock down shots, but can also guard somebody. And I think for a long time we've kind of taken that for granted with Zach, and he's having a big year. He continues to make big shots for us, and I'm excited for him because he's put in the time.
There we see, that was Zach right there hitting the three. This is against Cincinnati Christian, that first half. Is there a way to explain this kind of shooting performance? Do you think one guy hot bleeds over into maybe some other guys, or just?
Yeah. I mean, it's, shooting's mental.
Yeah.
And when you believe in each other, your confidence just isn't in your own abilities, but it's in your teammates, then you can find momentum in that, and it can begin to snowball.
And there's Bob Peters. He had, 17 against Cincinnati Christian. And some of the guys who came in off the bench, DJ, I am convinced that the closer DJ gets to the line, the worse he just say, get 5 feet beyond the arc, because he's deadly.
We're all surprised when he misses,
Yeah.
When he misses, we just can't believe it. But he's been on fire lately, but he puts in the time. I mean, I keep coming back to that. You go in the gym tonight, he's probably going to be there. You go in there the day before game, the day of the game, he's going to find his way in there, and that's why he makes so many shots.
All right, well, Coach, thanks for coming on in, and we've got a lot more basketball yet to come this season, so we're looking forward to it.
Thanks, Raj.
All right, well, as we talked about earlier in the show, there are a lot of big Wildcat events coming up this weekend. I want to start with women's volleyball. Thursday, October the 13th, 7 p.m. in Lucky Arena. They take on the Pilots of Bethel University in the league semifinals. If they win that game, they'll advance to the league championship. They would host either Grace or Taylor University on Saturday in Lucky Arena. However, the Wildcats do need to win to advance tonight. Now, of course, men's basketball team, they'll be back at home on Friday night. They welcome in IU Southeast. That should be a great game, as the number one Wildcats will take on the Grenadiers of IU Southeast at 7 p.m. The Wildcats are looking to move to 7-0 on this season's start. And finally, the men's soccer team is playing for a second straight Crossroads League championship and a trip to Florida for the NAIA National Tournament. The Wildcats will face Goshen on Saturday night. Kickoff is at 6 p.m. out at Wildcat Field. Well, that's all we have for you this week on Wildcat Week. If you have any comments or suggestions, we'd love to hear from you. So write us here at the station, WIW-TV, 4201 South Washington Street, Marion, Indiana. Well, that is all that we have for you on this week's edition of Wildcat Week. We say thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time here on Wildcat Week.